Hey team, Coach D here, and we're gonna go through a 5-minute strength exercise that I do to help support the muscles that help with knee health. So if you experience knee pain, then this is gonna be for you. All you need is a mini band and a wall. Let's get started. We're gonna put the mini band above the knees. Biggest thing with the mini band is that the knees try to collapse inward, and the goal of that mini band is for us to have something to push out on in order for us to activate the outside of our hips, or that muscle that is called the glute medius on the outside of the hips. So we're gonna do 1 minute per move, or about 1 minute per move. We're gonna start off with some banded lateral walks. So hips back, chest nice and tall. We're gonna lead with our heel, and we're gonna take a small step and go the other direction. Biggest thing with this exercise is that when most people do this, they take a step with that foot and this knee collapses in. So your goal is to keep that knee out as you do this. And I like to think about pushing that band apart the entire time. Also, that toe wants to turn to the side because that quad wants to take over. We want to use that muscle on the outside of the hip here. So leading with the heel is a nice little cue here that helps me. And then that trail leg, controlling it back slow and not letting that band shoot our foot back into that position. So knees wide, heels lead the way, hips back, back and forth. Already you should probably be feeling just a little bit of sensation on the outside of the hips, maybe a little burn in that glute medius. You can do this flow as many times as you'd like to. We're just gonna go through one round here, 5 exercises for about a minute each. And really the goal for this is to help to strengthen the muscles of the hip, because a lot of the time you feel knee pain, it's not where the source of the pain is. Even if you have osteoarthritis or bone on bone, the muscles of the hip and the mobility of your ankles and hips really have an effect on your knee health. Great. All right, we're gonna move into a wall sit. So find that wall. You can keep the band on your knees here if you'd like to. This is one of my all-time favorite exercises to help with the tendons or the ligaments of the knee. When I was playing basketball, I had a patellar ligament rupture. So this ligament here snapped as I was going up for a dunk. My kneecap got pulled up into my thigh. They had to pull it down, drill holes in it, and sew it back together with nylon rope. So we have our knees wide. We have our hips just slightly above knee height. We don't want our hips all the way down to where our knees are at 90 degrees. We just want to be able to shift a little bit of weight into our toes and hold this position. Muscles respond to tension. So when you put that muscle in a lengthened position, it really responds by growing stronger. Tendons and ligaments, they respond to load. And the best way to put load on it, in my opinion, to help with pain, is an isometric movement like a wall sit. So getting into this position and even just doing wall sits a few times a day, maybe 45 seconds on, round 2 to 3 sets of 45 seconds, really helps to be able to start to strengthen the tendons and the ligaments of the knee. So lean into discomfort, make that burning sensation feel there. If it's sharp and shooty, you'll probably have to back out of it and find a little less load. But love the wall sit. From here, we're gonna take a little break from the wall sit after about a minute, and we're gonna go into a tibialis raise. So you have a muscle on the front of your shin called your tibialis anterior. Really impactful to knee health and helping with knee pain. And it's often a neglected muscle. So we'll come out of that wall sit. We're gonna straighten our legs and we're gonna have our feet flat on the floor. This is a muscle that pulls our toes up to our shin. So we're gonna create a little resistance with our butt into the wall. We're gonna lift our toes off the ground and squeeze that shin muscle and then set those feet back down. We'll breathe in as we lift those toes and try to get the toes as close as you can as to your shins. Try to keep those legs straight. And exhale, set those toes down and put a little bit of weight into your toes. Weight into the heels as you lift. Inhale, pull with that tibialis muscle. For me, really, if I'm being honest, it does take me about 15 to 20 reps to really start to feel this exercise. There's really cool machines that they've invented. They have this thing called a tib bar, a TIB bar. Knees over toes guy. He's been amazing when it comes to knee health. I definitely recommend checking Ben Patrick out, Knees Over Toes guy, on all of his social media platforms. He's got some great content on YouTube, and he can show you all different ways to help you get out of knee pain. Tib raises are one that I learned from him. We're gonna go back into a wall sit here in about 20 seconds. So really feel that squeeze and really press down into those toes. Sometimes the contrast of pushing down can help you feel the opposite of that as to pulling up. One more time. And then we're gonna sit back into a wall sit here, knees just over hip height, and we're gonna work on our calf strength. So a lot of times as we get older, we lose the ability to plantar flex our feet and go up onto our toes. So these are toe raises. So lift your heels up as high as you can, push your toes into the ground, especially through the ball of your great toe, your big toe, and then set it back down. Calf raise and set. This is kind of like a 2-for-1 here. We're in that wall sit, helping to get another round of wall sitting in for our tendons, but we're also starting to strengthen the muscles of the lower leg. So a lot of times if you feel pain in the back of your knee, it could be stemming from hamstring weakness or tightness. It could be from calf weakness. So being able to strengthen all around the knee joint to make it a more overall strong and supported joint of the body. Because oftentimes that knee gets the brunt of the blame, but it is not the brunt, it is not the source, it's just that stepchild that gets all the blame. It's usually happening in the ankles, it's usually happening in the hips. This movement is great to help strengthen your ankles as well. And our last one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come out of this one, and another one that I learned from Ben Patrick, knees over toes guy. We'll lose the band on this one, and we're gonna do what's called an ATG lunge. So you're gonna take a step forward, maybe it helps to get a mat or a cushion or a pillow for your knee. This is just the setup. I want you to try to get your knee as far over your toe as you can, and it's okay if your heel comes off the ground. In fact, I sometimes do this with a slant board. This is gonna be a pretty challenging variation. So you can elevate your front foot, you can hold on to something. I have some clients do this while they're holding onto a chair or the back of a couch. Try to get your back leg as straight as possible now. And you're gonna push horizontally through your toes, back up. So on this one, we're gonna drive forward, keeping our back leg straight. You're gonna feel that stretch of the hip flexor here, and then we're gonna drive through. So what we're doing is we are using the quad, we are using the force of our front tendon to stretch, and then coming out of that movement. Trying to stay upright if you can. This might have to be just a reverse lunge before you go into it. But one day you're trying to get that heel or that calf all the way on the hamstring. Heel comes off the ground, back leg straight, and push into that what's called ATG lunge. Let's do 2 more. And then with the other side, I like to drop my back knee to set myself up, push my weight forward, calf comes into contact with the hamstring, back leg straight, and then I'm gonna push straight back. Leaning forward, finding position. You have to find the version that works best for you. This takes a while to get into this, even with just body weight. And then once you get this one down, you can hold on to some dumbbells and you can load this thing up. This one might be the most impactful strengthening exercise you can do for your knees. You just gotta find the version that fits best for you. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Fantastic, good job team. So that right there is a 5 to 7 minute flow that I like to do for the joints and muscles that support the knee. Remember, frequency is king. Do this 1, 2 to 3 times a week and meet yourself where you're at and slowly progress. Message me if you have any questions on options or challenges for the movements we did today. And if you have a specific question about a specific thing going on with your knee, I'd be happy to try to figure it out with you. We'll see you guys soon. Catch you on the next one.